All right, I'm here with Mr. HO, VP of HO Skis, Dave Wingerter. Dave, what's going on?
Not much, Marcus. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We've got a lot of people asking about these new skis, the Works '01, the Works '02, and how they line up with everything we've created in the past, but also the skis that are the skis that are going to be in our line for 2023, how they compare to other brands, because people are thinking about trying using our demo program. So maybe you can kind of speak to that a little bit and give people a little bit more info on the new Works '01, '02, as well as some of the other skis in our line and how they compare.
Yeah, right on. I think there's a lot of excitement around the work skis, and rightly so. Awesome skis. Been really fun to watch what Will and the guys have been doing on them. So we'll start with the Works '01. I think looking back at some of the older HO skis, the Works '01 really sits closely to that A1, A2, A3 width profile. The other ski that really reminds me of a Works '01 would be the Omega series that Will help develop. So I think if you're a big fan of the A series of skis or the Omega series that we've had, then the natural evolution for you would be the Works '01. Similarly, the Works '02 matches up really well with some of the Pro skis we've built in the past. So the original Pro, the second generation Pro, both those skis had a fairly steep concave to them, had a lot of downforce kind of built in naturally to the ski. And so that's a real similar feel you'll find on the Works '02. However, I will add that the Works '02 is a bigger ski than the original Pro or the current Pro. It's a wider forebody, so it does have a new feel in that regard. That kind of speaks to some customers maybe we don't currently have or we didn't have in the past, which would be that Nano 1, Nano 1 XT, XTR, or Nano 1 Team kind of shape profile with an aggressive concave. And then in the round out the line for 23, we'd have the Syndicate Pro. Obviously, if you like the old Pro, you're going to like the new one to compare to some competitor skis. The traditional goods, the 9100, the 9500, the 9900, the 9970, that kind of iteration, customers usually really like the Pro. It has a similar width profile, has an aggressive concave, has a lot of downforce. So there's some similarities there. And last, definitely not least, the World Champ ski, the Alpha. The Alpha is kind of a unique ski, has a width profile of the original Pro. We fine-tuned the concave depth on the front and the back, has kind of a La Pointe style bevel. And obviously, if you like the original Pro, you're really going to like the Alpha. If you like Jamie Bull, you're going to like the Alpha. If you want to ski like Jamie Bull, it's important to use her stick. But it does ride a little higher in the water. It is a little lower drag than the Pros. It does ride in trim a little bit more. So instead of having the tip up and the tail down, it's a little bit more level to the water surface. I think it's really well suited to 34 mile an hour skiing. So I think that's kind of a unique ski in the lineup. So, and I guess go back, Works 1, how does it match up to some of the competitor skis? We talked about how it matches the A series and the Omega series, but I think fans of the D3 skis, especially the Ion, seems to really like the Works '01. Seems to be some synergies there. And I think that's a pretty good cross-section of the tournament market. You know, there's a big three-way race between the D3s, the goods, and the HO syndicates in the world, and we kind of have a ski for everyone. We obviously have our own take on them. We have our own design philosophy, but hopefully that helps you match up with some of the older HO skis and some of the popular competitive skis out there.
So, do you want to dig in a little bit more to a couple just of the key characteristics of the new '01 and '02, as far as just a quick run through on the design, the footprint, the rocker line, the concave and bevels?
Yeah, exactly. The way we design skis or think about them is three ways. You have the width profile, the rocker line, and what we call the cross section, which is the bevel package and the concave in simple terms. So to compare and contrast 1 and 2, the 1 is what I would call a fairly traditional width ski, very similar profile to the A series or the Omega. So nothing radical. Doesn't have a super pintail, isn't blown up in the front, classic ski shaping. From a rocker line standpoint, the Works 1 has a relatively low tip rocker. That was really driven by Will Asher. He wants the ability to move on the front of the ski off the second wake into the buoy, have it be fast, climb the arc. He demands it cannot stop, it cannot grab, it cannot bite. So he wants to be able to accelerate on that part of the ski off the wake. And then it has a moderate tail rocker, nothing radical there. But from a cross-sectional standpoint, medium volume concave, once again, nothing crazy. It does have a fairly large and defined bevel under the back foot. That helps you control your speed, helps you be very aggressive off the wakes into the buoy. You can really attack on the upswing. See, that's the unique characteristic of the 01 was the ability to attack on the upswing and to be able to access the front and not be penalized. So the front's stable, it has good glide, it doesn't bite, stop, or engage too much. So that you put that combination together, that's kind of what you've seen Will having a success with this year professionally. The Works 2 is a little different beast. From a width standpoint, it has a wider forebody. It's not a huge wide ride style ski, but it would be a little bit more in that Nano 1 XT, XTR team camp where it has a more supportive front. To couple that, it has a more aggressive tip rocker and it has more aggressive concave depth. So it's kind of a different combination than the 1. So they don't feel similar, and that's the goal. We don't want 1 and 2 to feel similar. We want them to kind of feel opposite in a way. That way you cover more of the market. More importantly, you meet the needs of what people like out there. A lot of people like that kind of Nano 1 XT, XTR team package. One of them is Benny Stadebauer. Works 2 has some of the feel there, but has HO's take on it. So we definitely didn't copy that ski, but we just trying to put the right ski on people's feet. So you've got a wider front, you've got a more aggressive concave in terms of steepness, you've got more aggressive tip rocker, and what you have is a ski that rides a little more level to the water. It has kind of a traditional La Pointe bevel in the back, front engages, really hard to fall off of, good supportive front. I think personally the stronger of the 2 for 34, but the jury will be out on that. We've got to let people put them through the demo program and see. But yeah, and then the Pro is the narrowest of the 3. So it's a very traditional with ski. It has a steep concave. It has a relatively flat rocker line. It is more like the original goods or some of the older skis, but man, it really works well for people who are aggressive and attack. A lot of young skiers really like that style of ski. Like Hazelwood comes to mind. Like he rips on that ski. And he skis better on it than the other 2. So there's no best ski in the lineup. We have different flavors of ice cream for everybody. You got to take your pick of what you like, but hopefully that gives people the ideas of how to choose one over the other. Each ski of the Works 1 and the Works 2 come in 3 sizes, and it's kind of a new sizing convention for HO. So they both come in medium, large, and extra large. The mediums correlate very closely to a 66-inch ski. The large is a 67, and the extra large is a 68. We don't want to they worked out really well this year that they're actually measure that true to length, but in the future we don't want to limit our ski design based on kind of arbitrary lengths. The 4 key molds we focused on in the beginning would be the 66 and 67 Works 1 and the 66 and 67 Works 2. In the ski business, that's about 70 to 80% of your sales. Those are finished and are in production as we speak. There is a lot of demand for these skis, so we only we build all these skis outside Seattle. We can only build, under 100 a week. So there will be a little bit of a process to getting one in the beginning, but trust me, they're being built. The quality looks great. And in the upcoming months, you're going to see those sizes. And then the extra large sizes are machining right now. We cut our own molds in-house at HO. And so those will be coming on in the next couple months. But we really took our time working with Chris Parrish, Bob LaPointe to make sure that the extra large sizes of each were unique to the demands of that skier. So I think you'll see those come on a little bit later, but everything should be available this fall. I would get on them if you live in a place where you can weather-wise. If not, they're ready to go for winter, spring when you get back to skiing. So
last question, people who are thinking about trying 01, 02 or Pro, how do they go about doing that? What do you recommend?
I think the best way is you can listen to the videos and you can watch the sales pitch and the cool videos that you make, Marcus, but at the end of the day, you got to put it under your feet. You got to ski it. I'd recommend doing that at one of our ski schools or at your home lake, behind your home boat, behind your driver. And so that's taking part of the demo program. So you log on hosports.com. You'll see a link on the top for the demo program. You put a little bit of your info in there. you'll either talk with a CS agent or go through the website, and we'll ship you the ski. You get 2 to 3 weeks to try it on your own. There's a minimal fee associated with mostly the shipping of the ski back and forth, making it easy for the labels and all that. But that way you can figure out what ski's best for you. You can try it with your boots. You can try it with your driver, your leg, and really take all the variables out of it and figure out what works for you. We really want to put our money where our mouth is, and hopefully you feel comfortable from the get-go. You get factory settings dialed in from HO, and you get to see how many buoys you can run. And if it's a good fit, we make it really easy. You can keep that ski if you like it and do the transaction, or if you want a clean mint one right out of the press, we can do that as well. So very easy process.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking time to go through the ski lineup for 2023.
Anytime, man. Get out there and try them. You'll dig them.